Okay, we are live and it just loaded up 1 second, guys. I had a new intro and the power of the internet, but here is our intro. Check it out. Something simple, 7 seconds. I mean, we have to improve on it, but
I like
we're,
it.
we're not professionals here.
I like it.
Yeah, dude. So yeah, let's see, turn this down. I wasn't expecting you to we're doing a low bar movie review on the most highly anticipated film of 2024.
Woo! We have lowered the bar for you guys. We have lowered it.
Yeah,
It's webbin time.
God, man. Yeah, so and where the fuck do we even begin with this one? So boy, Madam Web. So yeah, I just got out of the theater about 20 minutes ago and yeah,
Same.
and let's see. I'll show a picture right here. So let's see. Madam Web, boy, where the fuck do we begin?
Where do we start to flush this fucking turd?
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Well,
Unholy crap, actually,
I'll make us feel better here. That's not make you feel better. Okay. There. That's gonna,
Yeah, that helps a little bit.
That it helps a little bit. So okay, well, I mean, God, like I always tell people, okay, my comic book knowledge, I do have a lot of comic books right here. I have like fucking shelves. I have comic book cards. I always say that, every time I read 5 comic books, someone out there is reading 100. I may read 1,000, some guy read 10,000. I do not know, especially with current Marvel, the most detail about the character of Madam Web. What I do
Fair
know
enough.
was when I was younger and the Spider-Man cartoon came out, and right here's a
Okay.
picture of Madam Web. Now,
Okay.
initially, actually, Stan Lee, his wife, voiced Madam Web, which is pretty cool.
I
Now,
didn't know that.
yeah,
Okay.
which is which before she passed away. So what I do know of her is that obviously she's in a wheelchair, she's blind, and she's
Right.
basically they call her Madam Web. She can see the
Right.
future, the past, and
Right.
she does have access to like a multiverse. And in the very last issue or episode of the Spider-Man cartoon, Spider-Man actually comes to our world and he meets Stan Lee, which is pretty cool. So she can transverse to different multiverse and
Wow,
stuff. And
I didn't know any of this. Is that
yeah,
that main Spider-Man cartoon from the 90s?
yeah, yeah.
Oh wow.
Stan Lee voiced himself in the very last episode, so I thought that
I
was pretty
didn't know
cool.
that.
So during the Spider-Man show, Madam Web was interacting with Peter at different episodes and just showcasing how powerful she is.
I knew that. That I did
Yeah.
know.
So it's definitely with this right here. Obviously Dakota Johnson is 34 years old, and she's not an
Yep.
older woman to say the
Right.
least. So she's playing a different version. Now we'll get into it. Off the bat, we have the film starts off in 1973. Okay,
Okay.
because people are wondering, Sony, what are you doing? First off, it's like you have the
What
Venom.
are you doing, Sony? Is a
Well,
good question.
because I mean, before we get into the whole fucking Sony and Spider Verse type fucking universe films and stuff, to their credit, and this is pissing people off, is that with Disney and fucking DC being woke and pushing messages, Sony, to
Hmm.
their credit, with shit like Morbius, with shit like Venom, they're not the best movies, but at least they're not pushing this big political message.
Okay.
Hey Tyler, just dropped by to say I spent 40 minutes on the phone with Dark Hour, and my God, glad I skipped it. So but with fucking Morbius, this film and the upcoming Craven, it's annoying because Sony has such a blank slate. You're not tied down by Disney and Marvel and these
Right.
ESG scores and stuff. And
Right.
so far, I know people always say that just because a film isn't woke doesn't mean it's good. No doubt, I'll give you that. But like, give them a little bit of fucking points that these are not good films, but they're not bullshit political messaging films.
Uh-huh.
But it's very annoying because right now, Sony, some people would say that Spider-Man next to Batman has the biggest rogues gallery. Spider-Man has fucking 200 goddamn villains. It's not hard to make a very good Venom film, a Doc Ock film, a Sandman film. You could do so much.
Yeah.
Spider-Man can have his own universe because it's so massive that you're not tied down to Disney and Marvel. Sony could and
Yeah.
should be doing some kind of extended Spider universe, which is what they're doing, but they're doing it in such a shitty way.
Yeah. Is that do you mean that literally or like figuratively with the 200? Like
I
he
mean,
literally has 200
I mean,
villains?
probably exaggerate. I'm just saying, but he's got like I could probably name 25 just off the fucking cuff, on top of like new villains they've added in the past decade. I'm just saying, like Spider-Man and Batman have such a major like. If you gave Spider-Man hit in every villain their own solo film,
Uh-huh.
you could do an MCU buildup where like have 25 solo films and then Spider-Man get introduced. He's got that many fucking villains. So,
Right.
but
Right. I hear you.
so it's like right now. So with Madam Web, it's basically people weren't understanding or knowing it. How is this going to tie into Spider-Man? Because obviously Venom should, fucking Craven should, Morbius should, Madam Web. It's the Sony Spider Verse, and it goes from 1973 into 2003, so it's 30
Right.
years.
30
And
years.
people weren't sure, are you going to see Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, Tom Holland? None of that. There's no fucking tie-ins to
No.
Spider-Man, no fucking references to Spider-Man. So it's
Yeah.
like, off the bat, before we talk about, 5 minutes in, you and me will spoil the fuck out of this film.
Oh yeah, FYI, everybody, we are not being kind to this, and we're not going to follow any kind of rules with this.
Yeah.
Sorry, we are going to flush this turd, and
Yeah.
we're not going to be. Listen, just trust us.
Yeah.
It's better if you just trust us.
Plus,
Is all I can say.
so have some more of my good old Duggan. You said Dugan's do here, so
It's
I'm gonna.
Dugan's, bro. Why do you have such a hard time saying
It says
Dugan?
Duggan's. You fucking.
It's okay. Well, it also says Phone booth. You don't say
Yeah.
Pahone. It's Dugan's, bro. Like, come
I
on.
just played Final Fantasy 7. I kept saying Sephiroth because it's actually Sephiroth, but I kept saying Sephiroth for most of my life.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, yeah. So the film starts off with 1973 and the Amazon, which the Amazon has always these hidden mysterious stuff, right? And things we don't know about.
Apparently.
Apparently
predators and fucking vampires and apparently radioactive spiders some kind of way, or
yeah.
So we're doing the whole instead of scientific radioactive spider, now we're delving into the supernatural aspect.
Yeah, so apparently in the Amazon rainforest, you have access to special spiders, and if these special spiders bite you, you have the powers of Spider-Man. Okay, sure.
Yeah, whatever.
The venom in these spiders can bite you. Now, again, it's science fiction, but at least it's stupid. But at least if a radioactive spider bits you, you kind of can go with, okay, Peter Parker is he's at least unique because one spider bit him. But in this movie, apparently anyone can get bitten by a fucking spider. So you could have like 1,000 spider people. Okay, sure. Because it's and even the spider that bites him, it dies. That's the premise of Spider-Man. The spider bites him, it dies. You can't replicate his powers. It's before Miles Morales, Peter Parker was unique. Versus this one, we can just fucking hand out, just have spiders bite random people and just make them spider people.
Yeah, just all spider people. Just spider people everywhere.
Yep. Lots of spider people.
Lots of spider people.
Yeah.
Lots and lots of spider people.
So we get to, let's see. So we have Madam Web. Her name is Cassie. Okay. Her name is Cassie Webb. All right.
Webb. Wow.
Yeah. Cassie.
You Webb. Get it? Get Web. Oh, Sony, you're so smart.
It's webbin time.
It's webbin time.
So yeah, what's up, my spider people friends? Oh, Christ!
Yeah, we are in the midst. We are in the midst of webbin time, my friend. That is what is happening. So
Cassie's mother is a scientist, and guess what? She's pregnant.
Yes. So she's pregnant and has a big skin tag on her face, which is really off-putting. FYI.
I mean, I'm glad you said it. I was going to say it, but
yeah, horrible. I love later on someone sees a picture of her. Sydney Sweeney sees a picture and is just like, "Oh, your mom's so pretty." And I literally out loud said in the theater, "I'm like, no, the fuck, she is not. Yeah, no, she is not. She is not attractive."
Yeah, let's see. I found the bad guy. And okay, so mom is pregos, and she's in the Amazon rainforest because she apparently is trying to find not the cure, but like the spider. These spiders have healing capabilities. Their web can cure millions and millions of diseases. Okay.
Boy, this sounds like a familiar plot. Where have I heard this?
Yeah, really.
Recently.
And she's hanging out with this guy right here. So he is our bad guy, Ezekiel. Now, so apparently, Ezekiel at some point he gets pissed off. He turns on her, and she captures a spider because now she captures a spider. She wants to study it and she wants to cleanse the world, with these spider powers. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
But maybe she has ulterior motives too.
Well, we don't know that yet, but
yeah.
So our buddy here, Ezekiel, what does he do? He fights her. Well, he kills 2 people, and then he winds up pulling a gun on her. They get into a small struggle, and he shoots mom, and mom is dying as she's pregnant. Like, oh, what a bad guy! You son of a bitch! You shot a pregnant woman.
Shot all of her co-workers.
Yep.
And the pregnant woman.
Yeah, Ezekiel, you prick. So, of course, he grabs the spider, he escapes away, and she's dying. What happens, of course, one of the mysterious Amazon spider people, they jump down, and of course, they have to save her life. Now,
some of the worst CGI I have seen since Morbius. It's some of the worst sped up. And I'm gonna just tell you right now, if you have, they need to start putting a disclaimer
Yeah.
on if you have like any kind of epileptic issues or vertigo or something like that, do
Mm.
not go see this movie because you will be throwing up in the aisle because the Dutch
Oh
angle,
my
all that
god.
camera shit, sped up camera, quick shots is it's
Right here.
nonstop.
Oh, yeah, this is the film right here. This is what you're seeing. That's
Yeah, no, that's being kind. That's being
yes.
kind to it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but so this is all within the first, like, say, 6 minutes. So, as Mama's dying, what happens? A spider bites her in her neck. It's supposed to heal her, but it doesn't heal her, and she winds up giving birth. And I'm thinking to myself, "Wait a second. I remember one character, maybe back in '90s, maybe a half vampire,
Wow, that
they'll
sounds
say,
so
so familiar."
familiar.
So, as Mama's dying in childbirth and the spider bit the mother, guess what? The baby's born. I'm thinking, "Wow, what a fucking Blade ripoff." Jesus Christ. I'm trying to find a picture of Blade's mom dying in childbirth. Let's see, Blade mother dying. Yeah, sorry guys. I literally just got home, so I didn't have time to make a lot of fucking slides for people watching. So let's see, rate.
Listen, you
Uh,
don't need it. Listen, just take the slides we have and flip them upside down 20 fucking times and do quick flashes of them. And that's basically the whole movie for you right
yeah,
there.
and that's the best image right there. That's Blade's mother. So yeah, Blade's mom dying. Yeah,
Oh,
there we go. So so does the Blade become the abomination and channel the mentality of her uncle Baron Harkonnen? See, that would have been a good fucking movie.
yeah, no.
All
You
right.
know, if they had leaned into, I'll talk more about this as we go, but if they had leaned into like the horror element, like what
Yes.
what you remember when they were like teasing that Multiverse of Madness would be kind of like a Marvel horror film?
Yeah.
If Sony had done that and made this like a horror film and quit fucking around and done that, I think it could have been okay.
Yeah. So, well, that all takes place in 1973. So, what do we have to do? Fast forward 30 years later.
30 years. Yeah,
And
and that's being kind because Dakota Johnson is like 37. So and she looks it. Quit smoking. If you're hearing this, quit smoking, Dakota Johnson, because you are gonna look like Jodie Foster in your fucking 50s if you don't
yeah,
knock it off.
so I can't find the picture, but basically, so we find out that the character she is driving an ambulance. And again, the entire 5 minutes where she's driving an ambulance, and like I'm with Wes, when I'm watching it, it's the whole like, I'm going to quick cut to her driving, quick cut to her opening the back door, quick cut to her taking a bag. The entire time she's driving an ambulance, it's like this. Hey guys, so right now I'm in New York City. I'm driving an ambulance. It's right here. And I got to pick up a bag, and I'm an EMT and blah, blah. I'm like, Jesus Christ, I'm watching it like, I mean, is this a fucking roller coaster ride? Like, holy shit.
Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah.
It is bad.
So it's been 30 years and she's okay, so somebody's in the back, she rescued somebody, and she has a EMT with her who just happens to be named Ben. Like,
Ben,
I'm like, Ben?
Ben,
Now, no, okay,
where
this
did
is
you hear that name, Ben?
now I'm thinking to myself initially, like, well, it is New York City and stuff. The name Ben could mean a lot of things. I'm not sure yet where we're going
Sure,
with
it
this. It
could.
could be. Let's see.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ben. And of course, so character Ben, he saves the person. These guys get to a hospital, and they wind up let's see, played by, if I'm right here, Adam Scott. So Adam
Adam
Scott is
Scott, what have they done to you, my boy? What have they subjected you to? Why, Adam? Why?
yeah. So here's right here, there's Adam Scott, and Adam Scott is playing Ben. But they do
Ben.
they do say once you get to the hospital, they have to talk to the doctor, and at one point they say, "Hey, listen, Ben Parker." I'm like, "Oh, Ben Parker, that
The
sounds such a familiar
yeah,
name." Like,
the exposition dumps in this freaking movie are so shitty. Oh my god, hey, I thought that you like to drive fast. I only like to drive fast when I was in the army and there were people shooting at me. Oh, I forgot, Ben Parker. That is amazing. She literally calls,
yeah,
in one instance, he actually calls her, leaves a message on her machine. She spends every fucking day with this guy, has barbecues at
yeah.
his house, and he leaves a message. Hey, Cassie, it's me, Ben.
Mhm.
Really? Really? He had to say, hey, it's Ben?
Yeah.
Why didn't you just say, hey, it's Ben Parker?
Yeah. Now, initially, so as we said, 2003. Okay, so it can't. So this 2003. She says Ben Parker, Uncle Ben. So obviously, this is not Toby because that's Uncle Ben in the first Toby Maguire film.
Yes.
And then, of course, with Andrew Garfield, Amazing Spider-Man, it's played by Martin Sheen. I was telling
Yes.
myself that maybe you could tie this into Tom Holland because Tom Holland, you never see Uncle Ben at all, but we'll get to that later. So,
Well, to speak to that, I mean, a couple different things. One, I mean, Adam Scott is in his mid to late 40s now.
hmm,
So if you added another, so 2003 to 2023, let's say, I'd add
yeah,
another 20 years. That's conceivable. I would also point out that that actor from the first movie,
hmm,
that actor from the first
get up
movie,
here.
I'm 90% sure they aged him more for that film. I don't
Hmm.
think I'm wanting to say his name was something Robertson, but that
Check.
might not be right.
Then,
That
of
might not
course,
be
we
right.
have our buddy, let's see, good old Martin Sheen. So this is Uncle Ben, Amazing Spider-Man. So, but
Yeah,
obviously, Uncle Ben's always portrayed to be an older character.
right.
So,
That's
but it
right.
said 2003. If Tom Holland gets his powers, let's just be generous, say 2013, because remember when Tony first meets him in Civil War, he's already been bitten. So we just what age up Adam Scott by 10 years, 12 years? It could be passable. Like Uncle Ben is
Are
50.
you okay? So
No,
let me pause for the cause for a second. So are you operating under the theory that this is uh this is the Tom Holland Spider-Man backstory?
as I'm watching the film, possibly because obviously the name Ben Parker, and like in terms of continuity, it would have to be the Tom Holland one because age wise, it wouldn't make sense because it's 2003.
What if
So
it was? So I was
uh,
sort of under the impression this was the other guy, the other
who?
Spider-Man. What's the other Spider-Man's
Oh, you
name?
mean Ben Riley? Well, he's a clone.
No, the other
Um,
Spider-Man.
you mean Miles Morales?
No, the other Spider-Man.
Hold on. Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, and then Tom
Andrew
Holland.
Garfield.
Yeah, and Tom
So
Holland.
you think this okay, because just so you remember, you're mixing and matching right now.
Yeah.
Martin Sheen is the Uncle Ben from the Andrew Garfield
Yes,
series.
exactly.
Do you get it?
Yeah,
Okay,
that's what I'm
so
saying.
it can't be the Tom Holland version. It's the Andrew Garfield version.
Again, 2003. That's possible. Maybe. I don't
When
see. Yeah, let me look back now. Ends on my note, but TSM.
uh,
Let me
what
see.
is Amazing Spider-Man? Was it 2013?
It came out in I'm looking up right now, 2012.
Okay,
So
okay, so
again,
that doesn't really
yeah,
work.
just saying 9 years. I mean, Adam Scott. I mean, he's not aging that much in 9 years.
Well, also, we're talking about okay, but it doesn't really match for even it doesn't even match for little Tom Holland.
Mm,
Because if you assume that Tom Holland is 15 in
yeah.
Civil War,
Mhm,
right, which is the beginning of his story, basically,
mhm,
right? He'd only been Spider-Man for like a few months at that point when Tony found him.
mhm.
That's 2015. So we're assuming he was born in 2020 or 2003.
Well, okay, 'cause I'm
That
just saying,
doesn't match
yeah.
either.
Well, yeah, the Civil War film came out in 2016. So,
Okay.
and Peter
So then
Parker,
and
Peter
he was
Parker,
only
15.
he was only 15.
Yes,
So he would have been born in 2001.
exactly. Well, I'm saying, but Uncle Ben's not his father.
Right. But the point is Uncle Ben was there during his birth, which was 2003 as far as this one goes.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying in
And
terms of
so it doesn't
yeah,
match any of the established
yeah,
Spider-Man, Peter
definitely.
Parker Spider-Man. It doesn't
Okay.
match any of them.
Yeah, true. But so it's like, why even say the name Ben Parker? So, all right.
Why? Yeah, well, I mean,
Yeah.
that's supposedly his mom, Mary Emma
Yeah.
Roberts is
So
supposedly his
yeah.
mom.
Well, his character Ben. So apparently his wife is named not May. Wow. Mary or something. Let me look up now.
No, you're mixing it up, dude. Ben Parker, that's his sister. That's his
Okay.
sister, and the husband is gone. Did you get drunk before you
Okay.
watched this?
Well, there was so much going
I
on
don't
with
blame
this.
you if you did. I don't blame you if you did. But he's the
Yeah.
Uncle Ben. Adam
Yes.
Scott is Uncle Ben, and
Mhm.
then Mary is his sister, and her husband. And we never saw Aunt May. All he did
Yeah.
was say, "Hey, I've got somebody special in my life."
Yes.
Unless there was an after credits thing that I didn't stay
No,
for.
there's no post credit scene for this film.
Okay,
So
so he says, "I'm seeing somebody special." That's his sister that he's taking to the hospital.
okay.
Do you get
Yeah.
me?
Yeah.
That's Peter Parker's mom.
Mhm. Well, that's what I'm saying. So in terms of age wise, though, like the point is, Uncle Ben should be an older gentleman, and if this is in 2003, if Tom Holland's in 2016, that's 13 years. So I'm just saying, Adam Scott aged up 13 years would at least be in like the age range of like what Uncle Ben 60s, you know, 50, like late 50s.
Yeah, but it still doesn't work because it's very established that Tony says, "I can't believe I put my trust in a 14-year-old kid," and he goes 15.
Yeah.
So he's 15 in 2016,
Mhm,
which means he was born in 2001.
mhm,
So the math ain't mathin', yo. The math is
yeah.
not mathin'.
Well, it doesn't make any sense. Well, fuck, we'll move on. Something
Okay.
stupid.
All
Yeah, so we
right.
established Uncle Ben. So basically, so obviously fucking Cassie Webb has some hidden abilities we don't know about yet. They get into a basically a car accident. They save some people. She gets stuck inside the ambulance. She falls down to the river and she basically dies. And then we get this whole big like whole Madam Web sequence where you see her powers unlocking, the future, the
Uh-huh.
past, and everything, and she's unlocking her Madam Web potential. It's been 30 years, but
Yeah.
okay. She had to
Okay.
have some kind of accident to unlock her hidden
Right,
abilities.
right, right.
So
Okay.
all right.
That, and I will buy that. I'll buy that.
Yeah.
I'll buy. It's like, Highlander, they have to suffer a death of some kind of violent nature in order for their powers to get activated. I'm going to go ahead and buy that. That
Yeah.
one I will give them a little bit of credit.
Yeah.
They're not going to get very much, but I'll give them a little bit.
Yeah. So basically after that, let's see here. After that, she's just going through like, and I did like initially her slowly unlocking her powers. That part I will give it credit because it was interesting where you start getting the whole not Groundhog Day, but like she'll see somebody will say something like, "Hey, you're crazy." A couple
Uh-huh.
seconds later, "Hey, you're crazy." When
Uh-huh.
she first gets out of the water, he's checking her blood pressure. Oh, it's 89 over her oxygen levels.
Uh-huh.
89 over 70. So okay, we're ready to go. Next, you know, he's like,
Okay.
"Hey, I'm checking oxygen levels." Wait, what? 89 over 90. She's like, so the
Yeah.
next 20
Didn't
minutes,
we just do that song and dance? Yeah, I got
yeah,
you.
we're getting a whole fucking deja vu thing. Okay. So then we get established back to our bad guy Ezekiel. So Ezekiel, he is well, he survived. He's still the spider, obviously, and now
Yes.
he's waking up and he's getting these horrible fucking visions of three women, three mysterious females that keep
Uh-huh.
killing him. Well, they kill
Yes.
him into a fight scene.
Yes. And he has also managed to survive long enough to become the worst actor I've ever seen in any role in any not even any comic book movie, but in any movie period.
Yeah,
Holy shit, can he is going to really deserve that Razzie
yeah,
when he gets his Razzie, he is going to deserve it cuz holy
yeah.
shit, can this dude not act?
And so like Jeremy John said, you can tell, and I noticed after watching now, it's one of the things where it's like, hi, so I have to find these spider women right
Yeah.
here and everything. And a couple times you can tell where it's like he looks away, where it's like, so these spider women, and it's like even Jeremy Johns joked about the whole dubbing. He's talking. I noticed it twice. He's talking. His lips were not matching the fucking words, and I'm like,
What whose freaking nephew is this guy in Sony? Who is
oh
he banging
Christ,
in Sony that he got this role? Because man, he gets a shit ton of screen time and he
yes,
can't act at all. You are terrible, sir. Sir, you are terrible.
yeah.
Oh my god. So
Um,
bad.
trying to find a picture of the fuck. Okay, what's the close one I can find? So in his dream, he gets into a fight with these three women. And okay, as much as I know about Spider People, I'm assuming that Sydney Sweetie is this character called Silk. I don't know much about her, but I'm assuming that
No clue.
the other
No
two, I
clue.
have no fucking idea who they are. And of
Well,
course,
she's listed as Spider Woman.
okay, well, let's go with that then. And even then, and okay, I'll find some Spider Woman because that costume does not match Spider Woman. Jesus Christ. Yeah. So anyway, so he's having visions of the future and his impending death. And what does he do? He sleeps with a woman to get some information out of her. Correct?
This is the one plot device that I will allow is actually really good, and I'll let you continue, and then I'll speak on it because it's actually a halfway decent plot device.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
I mean, right there, that's a bad picture. Unfortunately, I'm trying to find a good picture of Spider Woman because, of course, the internet's what it is. But usually, Spider Woman has like traditional red. I mean, I don't know.
Hmm.
It's like here's an AI Spider Woman right here, which is just her costume should be like this. That's why
Okay.
I first thought she was a character called Silk. I mean, I don't know much about the character Silk, but like, all
Well, she
right,
has
so
she has Spider Woman's powers,
okay.
so at least
But
from what I saw.
so far in the dream, or the dream sequence, all we see is the fact that her and her two friends they kill this guy, and of course the black chick's got four arms, almost like the Tony Stark suit, and then the other girl's got this like mystical
Right.
web. She's holding him down, so they want to kill him. I'm like, all right,
Yeah, that's Celeste O'Connor playing Maddie Franklin.
yeah. So yeah, so it said so she basically she sleeps with or he sleeps with this woman and he winds up stealing technology for 2003. What she works for the NSA or something?
She works for the NSA, yes, and now, like, okay, so in 2003, yes, the Patriot Act had gotten established, and the NSA had gotten carte blanche to basically just watch all the citizens. That's where
Yeah,
we get like all the whistleblowers like Snowden and stuff like that who are in the military. So yes, this is the one plot device that I will actually co-sign on, because unlike movies like the new Indiana Jones movie where the bad guys just kept materializing out of thin air, at least that's what I've heard because I didn't watch
mm,
that piece of shit. But in other movies where the bad guys just show up for no reason, there actually is a reason. So he hires some security contractor, gives her the stolen NSA uh, key pro and
mhm.
her identification and code and passcode to set up surveillance around, I would assume, New York, but maybe more. I don't know. Maybe
Yeah,
I don't know if they were going worldwide or he was just going for in New York. That wasn't really made clear,
yeah.
but at least it's sort of plausible.
Okay.
Although I find it hard to believe that the NSA wouldn't have a missing agent and then all of a sudden say, "Hey, we have a missing agent. And she's still logging into her key code."
Yeah,
So that might be a problem. But okay, I mean, because this happens. This doesn't just happen over a course of
yeah,
days. This happens over a course of well over a month.
yeah.
So
And here's the costume right there. It's fucking these images are shitty on Google. But like so I'm trying to find the black girl because she's got the four arms and stuff. So yeah, but so he steals his technology because he's trying to find these girls that essentially kill him. They kill him. And he goes, one day you're gonna die in the future. So he has
right,
his hacker friend, and his hacker friend, she's trying to find their facial imaging. She goes, okay, we'll de-age them down by about 10 years because we'll
yeah,
figure, give or take, what's gonna happen in your dreams. And of course,
hmm
she figures out that it's Sydney Sweeney and these other two girls, and initially, she does hesitate because she goes, "You know what? I didn't think we'd be killing teenagers because right now they're
yeah,
15, 16." But he's like, "Well, they will always be teenagers." But he's like, "How important my work is, and I've had these spider powers, and I don't want to die." And okay, dude,
yeah.
like it's been 30 years and you've done nothing with your supposed powers, but okay.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, so a little Easter egg, Maddie Franklin is supposedly somehow the niece of J. Jonah Jameson. She actually
oh
drops that and
Christ.
says,
At one
"Yeah,
point, at one point, they fucking name drop Jonah because of course they do, and I'm like, "You're shitting me,
yeah,
right?"
my uncle
Yeah,
Jonah." Yeah, that's what it says on IMDb. She's the niece of J. Jonah Jameson.
yeah,
So yeah. I don't see her having a code name anywhere. It just keeps saying Maddie Franklin.
yeah.
So
So
I don't know.
let's see. And just small things like Enzo would say. So we get back to Cassie and she's just living her life. And I know Enzo said this, but I laugh about it now where she sits down. Of course, she's got a cat jumps in. She gives a cat a bowl of milk. And people just keep saying that, like, what is still this modern trope with giving cats milk? Because people
Yeah.
should know that by now that if you give a cat milk, it is the fucking worst thing to give to a cat.
Oh, I know. The girl I was with said that. Well, the first thing that happens is she opens the thing, and I'm like, "Hey, a stray cat's gonna come in." And sure enough, here comes a fucking stray cat. And then
Yeah.
I'm like, "Oh, she'll just give it milk." And sure enough, she gives it milk. And the girl I was with was like, "Yeah, you're not supposed to give cats milk." I'm like, "Oh,
Yeah,
trust me,
it's
I
the
know."
worst fucking thing. So, and basically after that, she just what was it? She hangs out with okay, so Ben invites her to a barbecue, and I start laughing because hey, Omar Epps and they're doing a barbecue and a nice good was a can of Pepsi. They're showing a Pepsi can right there for
Oh
product
yeah,
placement.
Pepsi. Boy, Pepsi really took
Mm,
stock in this movie. Oh my god,
I'm
this
sorry.
this
Yeah,
movie
I'm just
pushes
drinking a
Pepsi
nice healthy
so
Coca
hard.
Cola right here, but I
Yeah,
should have brought some
no,
Pepsi.
they pushed the shit out of this, man.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
So,
dude.
and basically, and okay, during the baby shower, she's getting more of her Spider Woman, fucking Madam Web powers and stuff. Like
Right.
the same lines are getting rehearsed over and over again. Okay, it's getting fucking weird, but she's still kind of figuring out like why am I keep repeating the same thing over and over and over again.
Yeah.
So, and of course, it's kind of dragging on. But then what happens? This part next, I did find somewhat interesting though, because basically there's a call, and she comes down. She's an EMT trying to save a person's life, and she's seen different events where people are dying. One of her coworkers, played by Omar Epps, he wants getting into a car accident and getting killed, and she sees it ahead of time, and she figures she can stop it, but she doesn't stop it, and then he gets killed in front of her, and she's like all freaking out. Like
Mhm.
as a premise, I'm thinking to myself that this power in the right hands, she could be a very good character and very interesting.
Right.
And imagine having this ability to see fucking like 300 different threads of like what's going on. It could drive
Sure.
you crazy, but also in the wrong hands, you'd be basically fucking unstoppable because if you can see everything before it
Right.
happens, and it's like it would be, but it's like adding to the fucking traumatic tension of like what she has to become as a
Uh-huh.
character because
No,
she,
I'll buy that. Yeah,
you
I'll
know,
buy that.
yeah,
But they never really
of
use it.
course.
properly. Just
Yeah,
later, just inexplicably, as we'll touch on, she just
yeah,
inexplicably just learns how to use it. She just
yeah.
becomes a badass.
So the upcoming scene we did see, which was in a trailer, and the trailer did show the fact that so basically she gets onto a train, and this the bad guy's hacker friend. She for some reason for facial recognition, all three women that are in his vision start entering the train station at the same time, which is in see happens just happens to be there
hmm
now.
Well, let me reiterate just real quick. That's not his hacker friend. She's a
Oh,
security
okay,
contractor he
yeah,
paid to do this. He makes that pretty
good
clear.
point.
So that's not a hacker friend. That's like an employee.
Okay.
So
So, but we are getting so, but it does come up now. This is maybe the only part of the film, which again, I mean, we can shit on how bad the film is, and we are, but there are a couple kind of good scenes, like right here. I did actually like this part, which I wish they would have did more with this because, like people are saying in chat, like cinematic or even Enzo would say, this scene was borderline fucking like a horror film. Like
yeah,
I did
no,
like it
I agree. I'm
because
not I'm not
yeah,
disagreeing with you. I just wish they had leaned more into the horror film,
yeah,
like done more with the horror stuff. Like you're gonna
yeah,
make it a horror film. Okay, cool. Make it a horror film.
yeah.
You know?
No, definitely, because it's like the visuals. Because first she sits down, she's still trying to get her powers, and she sees was Sydney Sweeney sit down first, or no, the black chick. Sorry, sees her sit down first, and out of nowhere
Maddie.
she's
Maddie.
yeah, Maddie. She sees a fucking vision. This guy walks through, and he's still he's not wearing the spider suit yet. He's just coming through
Right.
his suit, and he picks her up by one hand and breaks her fucking neck, and you're like, oh
Yeah.
shit. And next you
Yeah.
know, okay, she sees that thread, and then of course Sydney Sweeney walks in, and same thing. But she watches as he kills each of them one at a time, and like you said, with the way the visions are coming in, it's fucking brutal because this guy is not holding back. There's no it's borderline Terminator. It's like
Yeah.
there's no warning, there's no fucking setup. He just walks in and just breaks your fucking neck and just keeps it pushing. You're like,
Yeah. No, I'm
okay,
I'm I'm
and
all for that. I'm all for
yeah.
that.
So that aspect was pretty good. So that's basically the entire fucking subway scene. And of course, like she's telling these three girls, "Hey, listen, get off the train. You're all gonna die." And they're in New York City, like, "Yeah, right, lady. What the fuck are you talking about?"
Right.
They don't believe her. But and then we do finally get to see the I'm not sure what this is. I mean, it's a whatever. That's the bad guy spider suit because apparently
Yeah.
everyone has spider suits now.
Right. Yeah. No, he just has a spider suit. Totally. Yeah. Totally no problem. Has a spider suit. Got it.
Yeah. So what does she do? She tricks him. Well, he doesn't know about her yet. So she gets the three girls. They get away and they hop in basically into a car and they drive off and stuff. And I think what was it? We just have like now just a big exposition dump. Like you said, they're talking about who they are, they're fucking their parents, their friends, and like you said, the one girl Maddie talks about like, oh, I'll get on my phone and call my Uncle Jonah, and
Yeah.
like it just they just happen to fucking name drop Jonah Jameson for some bullshit reason, but
Yeah.
okay.
Just to establish that
And
he's in this universe, I
yeah.
guess.
So fucking they get away. She hijacks a taxi cab and take a taxi cab and they park in the middle of the fucking woods. And she tells the girls, "Hey, listen, I need to figure out what the hell is going on. So just wait for me here and come back in a couple hours." And also, we know that three 16-year-old girls are probably gonna listen to her, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally gonna listen to her. Yeah.
So and
Totes.
she goes back to her house because she never knew her mother. Her mother, because of course she did, had nothing but notebooks, and she had different notes she was keeping, and just all exposition about the spider people and the venom and what happened in
Yeah.
friggin' Peru. So okay, so she's trying to figure out that. I mean, it's I guess kind of a kind of funny scene because basically in her mother's notes they're talking about all the different abilities that this guy Ezekiel has, and at one point she tries jumping up and sticking to the wall, which doesn't work out for her. Like
Yeah.
you don't have spider powers, lady.
That was
Okay,
mildly amusing.
it was kind of cute, yeah. And then after that, so what do the three girls do? They're bored, they're freaking tired, and they see a diner. So what do? They walk to a diner, and yeah, I'm sure
hmm
nothing bad's gonna happen by walking to a mysterious diner because Cassie tells them, "Stay here, wait for me. I'll come back. I need to figure some shit out. Don't go anywhere." Of course, they don't fucking listen.
Yeah.
So the three of them. So here's the 4-star diner. All right, actually, I found a picture of it. So the three girls they go to a 4-star diner and they're just hanging out and having a fucking great time, right? And I guess maybe it was kind of I'm not sure if you noticed it, but they're playing Britney Spears Toxic.
I did notice that, and okay, that's fine.
Mm,
2003, Britney Spears Toxic. I'm there for it. Here's
mhm.
my question. At least two times, maybe three, they had Bitch playing in the background, which came out in 97, and they have that playing. Why is Bitch by Meredith Brooks or whatever her name was playing in the background almost like 2 or 3 different times in 2003. That doesn't even make any sense. Why is that playing? I don't get it. Okay.
They got me on that one. So, of course, so these three. I mean, to her credit, the chick Maddie there, she's like pouring down food. Holy shit, they're just ordering a lot of
Yeah,
stuff.
because and I believe that these 3 little tiny 90-pound chicks that have washboard abs are smashing this much food without throwing it up when they're done.
Yeah, I could say one thing. Yeah,
So,
the amount of fucking food that she's eating. I'm looking at this. I'm like, yeah, but I just kept thinking about you, Wes. It's like, I mean, damn. Even in my heyday when I was 17, I cannot fuck eat like that. But all right,
yeah,
sure,
yeah,
let's go with that. But yeah. So now, of course, what happens? Cassie, she goes back to the forest where she told them not to move, and they're not there. And of course, she has visions. And again, this guy I can't find the scene right there, but like he walks in and just to his credit, it shows you. Well, I'd say even back to real quick with the subway scene. The subway scene as they're running away. If Spider-Man as a premise really got fucking pissed off, I did like the fact that these New York City cops can't even fucking dent this guy. And from what I've seen, this guy's not even as powerful as Spider-Man, but this dude has no problem flat out murdering people. I mean, yes, it's PG-13, but this guy will fucking flat out kill people, not hesitant, not friggin' not. There's no rationale killing people. Same thing with the fucking diner. He walks in and he just brutally fucking just kills the 3Ds. Like Sidney Sweeney
yeah.
at one
He's
point, he
like a
like
Spider-Man Terminator almost.
100%. Like, I mean, he kills fucking, takes again, Maddie picks her by her neck, breaks her fucking neck, takes Sydney Sweetie there. He bashed her freaking head against like one diner, like one headboard, breaks her fucking neck. And I'm like, this dude is not joking. Like, he's there to fucking
Yeah.
kill you.
No, had they leaned into this and not had him out of the suit trying to act so many times, and they just
Yeah.
leaned into the horror element of this guy being like a Michael Myers version
Yeah.
of Spider-Man, I'd have been okay with that.
Yeah,
I'd have
because
been okay with
especially
that.
like the dynasty, when he shows up and he's like this, he doesn't say a fucking word, he doesn't joke, he just walks up slowly, and of course, nobody there, he's got spider powers. You can't stop him. He's quicker, way quicker than a human, and just it's like takes him half a second to fucking kill somebody. You're like, oh shit, man. So, so what happens with Cassie? Of course, she sees this and she wants to stop it, and she just basically goes through the different threads where she wants to stop him. She wants ramming a cab into him, but as she's leaving, he grabs her fucking hand and puts his. Now, of course, he can inject spider venom into your skin by
Yes.
touching you, which
Yes.
okay, so he's very good at like injecting himself into women. So
Yeah. Yeah. I like to take my toxins and inject them into
exactly,
women too. But that's a different movie,
yeah.
or is it? Or is it?
Uh-huh. Yeah, so his power is besides having Spider-Man's agility and stuff and things like that. Actually, here's a good picture right here of how he's just fucking up these cops. Yeah, so besides him having Spider-Man's powers, he can also inject his venom into you, and his venom can give you paralysis and eventually stop your heart. So okay. And so he grabs Cassie's hand, and eventually that plays into like she rents a hotel room for these girls. They try talking. She's trying to go over like, okay, I can't control these powers. I'm not sure what I'm doing. I'm not sure why he's trying to kill you three yet for, but somehow you're important. She doesn't know yet, but they're important. And then we
Mhm.
get like a big exposition dump because what happens is the three of them fall asleep, and she goes back to the diner, and she
Yeah.
goes back to the diner, and because he injected her with his spider venom, she basically
Mhm.
talks to him telepathically of like, what's going on? Why are you trying to kill these three girls for? They're just three teenage girls. And he just
Uh-huh.
breaks apart his whole like, I'm the bad guy, they have to die, and you can't stop me. Because he's like, what, you think you're more powerful than me? I'm like, I'll stop you. You're not gonna stop me, lady, because you have no powers.
I'll
So
stop you with my mind
yes.
powers that I don't know how to use.
Yeah.
And you think you scare me? I was married to a guy who used to take me to his sex room and beat me and have his way with me. Wait, what?
Yeah.
Hold on, different movie. Sorry.
Yeah. So she goes back and see, was it the three of them were sleeping, and she was back in there sleeping, and they wake up, and I don't know, this scene coming up, like for me, it dragged the fuck on. Where remember she's doing the whole CPR thing. Hey guys, if you want to do CPR, take your hand like this. I'm a paramedic,
Yeah,
and
I really love in movies where they show them something that just is going to come up later. Hey guys, now had she done like a montage of
yeah,
teaching them certain stuff, then I guess I might have been okay with that. But
yeah,
the
under
oh,
here.
let me just show you one specific thing. And
Thank you,
I
Google.
remember telling the girl that I was out with, I'm like, gee, I wonder if that's going to come into play
Yeah,
later.
well, that's the scene right there. She's talking to Ezekiel through her neurotoxin, but yeah. So yeah, so she has to show the three girls they have to learn CPR because like Wes said, I'm sure a random 10-minute scene of her showing three girls CPR won't play into the film later on at all.
Yeah, not at
So,
all. Not at all.
okay. So, and after that, so what happens? So she tells them, okay, the three of you stay here. I have to go back to Peru and figure out what the hell's going on.
Yeah.
She drops the three of them off
Yeah.
to Ben
Hey
Parker.
Ben, hey
Yeah,
guy that I may have had sex with one time a long time ago, and now we don't have sex anymore because you're with some bitch named May. Guess what? I want to drop these three wanted fugitives off at your place and keep them safe from a superhuman spider assassin while I go gallivant off to Peru
yeah,
to go find my magic mojo that my
yeah.
my dead mother left for me.
Yeah, because
Wow.
she tells Ben, like, "Listen, I'm going to Peru, I'll come back in a week." And like you said, "Oh,
Yeah.
okay, so just babysit 3 girls I don't know, and apparently you're wanted." Yeah, so the cops didn't know about, the spider guy because apparently he was too fast, but, like, so reports for the police is they're thinking Cassie kidnapped these 3 girls. So now
Yeah.
she's wanted by the fucking police and just yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
Let's just go back to Peru and find out, like,
Yeah, yeah,
the origin.
it's 2003, so yeah, and everybody knows that for the few years after post 9/11, getting on flights was super chill. It was so easy. It was so boy, what you were in New York, weren't you?
Uh-huh,
Blue
yeah,
collar?
I
I bet
was.
it was so easy to get on a flight from New York after 9/11, especially if you're a wanted fugitive. Yeah,
Mhm.
easy peasy, no
Yeah,
problem.
oh god, so
What did she take 50 Shades of Grey billionaire guy's fucking private jet down to Peru and give him some butt sex so that he would take her down there? That I would have believed a little bit more.
yeah. Oh Christ! Let's see this tab here. Well, of course she does. Man, these pictures are shitty. But well, there's a good picture. Best one I could find. She does make it down to Peru, and guess what? She has to talk to. So the guy that saved her mother and saved her, he finds her, and he just does. And we have a 15-minute exposition of like, you're Madam Web, and you have these powers, and like you were born here, and of course, like, oh, my mother. I thought my mom hated me, and of course, then we get more backstory of like apparently, as you said earlier, Wes, her mother didn't hate her. Her mother wasn't trying to save the world. Apparently, when she was pregnant, her daughter was diagnosed with some kind of rare neurological disorder with like a very low life expectancy.
Bum,
And
bum,
yeah, and of course, Cass
bum.
is like, "Wait a second, I've never been sick.
What?
That's impossible. I couldn't be sick. I never had any kind of neurological disorder." And like, but
Yeah.
yeah, apparently
I
by
mean, I'm mildly on the spectrum, as you can tell from my acting ability,
yeah,
and I might be partially autistic, but I definitely
no,
have some severe sexual trauma from this
yeah.
billionaire that I used to fuck. But other than that, I don't have any kind of neurological disorder.
Yeah. So apparently by the spider biting her mother and giving birth to Cassie, she lived obviously and she's cured and her mother died sacrificing herself for her daughter. So, what a great mom. Yeah.
What?
But she does at least she does make something good where she tells the shaman dude, like, okay, well, the problem is this guy Ezekiel, what happened? Well, Ezekiel stole the spider and he says that he was cursed. And that's why he's cursed with like knowledge, but also powers. But like he wants to kill these girls, but like you have to stop him. And she's like, well, how do I stop him? Thing is, I don't have his abilities. I can't control his fucking power. He's superhuman. And he's like, if you train yourself in your mind, you can be two places at once and you have the power of knowledge because the power of
Mm.
knowledge can stop a guy who can bench press a
The
fucking
power of knowledge compels you.
exactly. Yeah, she's gonna beat a guy who can who can like Ezekiel when his spider costume he can dodge bullets and stuff. He can probably pick up a fucking dump truck and shit. But you have knowledge.
You have knowledge.
Christ. Uh-huh.
Yes.
So what happens? They go back and yeah. So what was it? Basically, his no, he said his sister, Ben's sister, is going into labor. So what do we have to
Ben's
do?
sister, Peter Parker's mother,
Yep.
is
Is
going into labor.
yep.
And
And
then they get the whole scene of her going to the emergency room, and now a week later in the from the jungles of Peru, which I'll remind you, she hopped on an international flight and got back into New York post 9/11, right? And then she has a really good handle on her powers, and
yes,
then decides to steal an ambulance. And now
again.
this is twice that she has stolen a vehicle right while someone left it running. Because does that happen in New York a lot? You guys just leave your vehicles running
Apparently, I
on the
mean,
curb?
I'm not in New York City as much as she is, so I
Right.
mean, why
So
not?
apparently that's a thing. And so she goes to intervene. She gets a psychic flash of the Venom from Wish.
Yep.
Is he has got some sort of what spider bomb, I guess he does, and
Yes.
he's gonna drop it onto Peter Parker's mom, Ben Parker, and the
Yeah.
three twats that are gonna become spider women
Women,
of
yeah.
the diverse spider women, Charlie's Angels. And so she sees that. So what does she do? Oh, I'm going to drive through the Calvin Klein ad.
Yeah.
And instead of going over him, right,
He jumped.
he jumps
Get
in
out.
front of he's below where the fucking ambulance comes, and he literally jumps
Yeah.
up in order to be hit
You guys can see this,
by
but
the
imagine
ambulance.
imagine Times Square. Yeah, this guy. Okay. So he jumps on the fucking the hood of the vehicle. They're all looking up like we're gonna die. He's got a grenade in his hand, and he turns around and said, like Wes said, she friggin' puts a fucking slow motion friggin' ambulance midair. Instead of going over his fucking head, he jumps up and lands into it, and you're like,
I do not see the logic in what you did there, Discount Venom. I do not understand it at all.
especially if he had Peter's. Okay, at one point they mentioned during the bullshit notebook there that they have a sixth sense. Okay, what's a sixth sense? A spider sense.
Yeah,
So
his sixth sense was definitely warped in some kind of way. He got gypped on the sixth
yeah,
sense.
his spider sense is to jump into danger. But okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah. He
she
literally gets soloed by this
by
fucking
by
90-pound
ambulance.
girl who has mind powers, right? And he gets soloed by her multiple times when she just
Yeah.
MacGyvers a bunch of ways
Oh
in order
Christ.
to 1/6 the sense.
Oh, you beautiful. I'm starting laughing. Oh Christ. Yeah.
Oh, nice. You win the internet
Oh
today, Cinematic
yeah. Oh
Autopsy.
Christ.
Well
Yeah.
played, my friend.
So after she hits him with the ambulance, because I guess it would slow him down. So she tells Ben, take you and your wife, get out of here, because now that once I get the girls, he's focused on us and he'll ignore you. Okay. So
Yeah.
they hop into an ambulance, and again, this is what the third time in this fucking film we're doing a Terminator, because of course, obviously, and it's kind of fucked up. It's almost like they're copying Terminator, like the first one, where
Yes.
remember
Yes.
remember the
Let's
fucking
go to a warehouse. Yeah. Let's go to a warehouse. Let me throw as much stuff your way. They have like a I'll say mildly creative way when he jumps on the hood of the ambulance
yeah
and she talks the Hispanic chick through using the electro
yeah
pads.
paddles
What are they called? What are they called?
the paddles, right?
Yeah, the paddles,
Yeah,
whatever. The heartbeat paddle thingies.
yeah,
So she
clear.
talks her through that, and they MacGyver a way to kind of like shock him when he gets
Mhm.
up. That I cannot speak to the science of that. I don't know, but they do show that
There
it
you go.
winds up doing like an EMP thing and shutting the ambulance down a few feet away. So
Yeah, and of course
defibrillator.
the
Thank you, cinematic
defibrillator.
autopsy.
Yes, was they say that fucking 5 times. She's like, "Oh, now you're just showing off." Like, how many times are you gonna fucking say now you're just showing off?
Oh
Oh
yeah.
my
Oh
god.
my god.
Because yeah, like you
Jesus.
said, but I'll say with the Terminator reference, but as the three girls are hopping into ambulance, she looks back right. All she sees is everything on fucking fire, almost in slow motion. Like I was waiting for him to walk out with a fucking endoskeleton at that
Right. Right.
point.
Yeah.
God. So yeah, like you said, but they're fucking. She's driving fast. What's he doing? He's hopping on from cab to cab to cab, doing fucking Frogger. And like you said,
Yeah.
in slow motion as he jumps up, she's like, and she's doing her Madam Web sense now, where she's like, "Yeah, wait for it." And she goes, "Oh yeah, make sure you guys don't touch anything and put the paddles to the roof." And the second he fucking lands, they shock him, which slows him down for like 3 fucking seconds.
Yeah.
So this entire sequence, it's the fucking fourth time where it's like you're not doing anything to this guy, but just running. Because I'm like, at some point, I'm like calling Spider-Man, calling the Avengers, because the three of them have no fucking powers. She has no powers, but like she can kind of see the future. But like besides running away, you can't stop this guy. So I'm like, now this is like what 15 minutes of the film left, and now we get the last stand, because like you said, they're driving, and out of nowhere, the fucking ambulance starts dying down. They gotta start running. So what happens? They go into a fucking warehouse, a fireworks warehouse. And the best thing to do for fireworks warehouse is start setting off random fireworks.
Yep. Start putting flares inside the box. That'll work. That'll teach him that'll shut the patriarchy down, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, we're not joking, guys. When we're watching this, they go into a fireworks warehouse, and because she has her Madam Web abilities, they start
Yeah.
fucking setting off fireworks.
Right.
And basically, when he attacks them, they're dodging, and fucking fireworks are hitting him and knocking him backwards and through walls and
Right.
shit. So like,
Yeah, he's basically getting hit by every single
firework.
firework. He's using his 1/6 sense to jump in front of every single firework. Now, listen,
Oh Christ!
I gotta fix this. Had they had like a one line of expositional dialogue that said, "Hey, Madam Web, when you use your power, that will like short circuit his power.
Okay.
That like you use your psychic thing within like his area of operation within near, if you're near him, your psychic power will shut down his psychic power and like send his radar, like
Yeah.
his spidey sense all wonky. Had they said, I would have bought this, him randomly getting hit. And now as they're going to so she has a halfway decent idea where she calls in a chopper to come
Yes.
save them. So that their whole thing is now to get
she's,
to the chopper.
ambulance. Yeah.
Yeah, so she calls from the ambulance, get to the chopper.
Yep.
Of course, he fucks it up and knocks the chopper down with the help of some of the random explosions that are going off. But now she's totally become Neo from the Matrix.
Yes.
And she's just grabs a random piece of shrapnel shield and just starts blocking all of the stuff, the shrapnel and fireworks that's coming the girl's way.
Yeah.
And they wind up doing a whole Highlander. They're on the sign, but instead of whatever it was in Highlander,
that's what they're basically doing. So yes, she calls in a helicopter. They have to run to the roof. They have to run to the roof, and no bullshit. You know what's on top of the roof? You saw us, Wes. A big Pepsi sign.
Big old Pepsi sign. We haven't quite shown. I will point out earlier in the movie when she goes to the barbecue. Ben Parker hands her a Pepsi, and she's like, I kind of use a beer, and he's like, no, you should have this because you died today. You need to drink a Pepsi. I almost was waiting for them to turn to the camera and say Pepsi Cola, the choice of a new generation. Yeah, you have a Coca-Cola, but I got you. But I was almost waiting for them to do that. But anyway,
I want to tell you right now. So anybody watching, the Low Bar movie review is sponsored by Coca-Cola. Zero sugar.
I thought you were going to do Regal app again, but no. Okay, we're just
Regal.
Okay, but so we got Highlander, final showdown going on, and of course he has.
Oh no.
Yeah, almost a comedy. So he has her where he wants her. The three girls are dangling. These three girls that are 90 pounds with no upper body strength are all holding on for dear life.
On top of the Pepsi sign. Yeah.
Somehow she uses her Madam Web and she turns to the camera and says, it's webbin time. She uses her powers and sends an astral projection. I'm not kidding. I wish I was. She sends an astral projection to each one of the girls to help them get up. Now, how her astral projection can lift up the girl's body weight to get it, I don't know. But it's Madam Webbin time.
Yeah. This is the closest picture I could find, but it's basically, it's like she does meditates and stuff. Like he said, out of nowhere, all the fucking different webs come out of her body. Because he says where he's like, well, she's like, I have the power of like the future. He's like, but you can't be in three places at once. But then the shaman said that with your abilities, you can be in two places at once. So like Wes says, she's focused on Ezekiel, but then one astral projection saves the one girl. So she's got herself talking to Ezekiel with three different astral projections going out and telling the girls, you're going to be okay. I'm going to help you up. And you're like, what?
Yeah. So, how her ghost force bullshit helps her get out.
This picture is basically what happens, just like that. So, okay. So the three girls are fine. Okay. And they're okay. And they're not going to die. So Ezekiel takes off his fucking mask because you have to do that in a film.
Right.
Take off his mask.
We have to see the villain's face.
Exactly.
At the end.
And she gives the exposition of like, oh, you can't stop me and stuff. Your mind powers. And she's like, and she goes to the whole like, what was it? Your future was never by the girls and stuff. Yeah, like the girls weren't the part of your future that died. It was me all along.
Yeah. No. And which we literally watch earlier in the movie, him having a vision of the girls killing him and knocking him out of a window.
Yes.
We literally see that. And he says multiple times, these three girls kill me in the future.
Yes.
And so I don't understand, like Cassie, Madam Web is giving some kind of sick burn by saying, hey, it was me all along. Well, okay. Agatha all along. How the hell would I know that my vision was showing me the three girls, not you? You weren't even in my fucking vision. So I guess his vision was 1/6 sense as well. And very anticlimactically, she just drops the S from the sign down on him. Just crushes him and stands over him and says, it's webbing time.
He's sitting there fucking. He first gets crushed by. Wait, was it? He first gets hit. He's pinned down. She's like, "Yeah, you're about to
Yeah.
die." Like it was me. Then after he gets pinned down, he falls down into friggin' to like the lower level. He looks up and said, "The S in slow motion here. The S from Pepsi just crushes the guy." So I'm thinking,
Yeah.
so the best way. I can't. The way these guys killed the Spider-Man, the fucking Ezekiel villain was the power of Pepsi.
The power of Pepsi killed the spider villain.
I'm gonna call Dark Hour about that, like Dark, because Dark Hour hates Pepsi.
Yeah, I'm
So
not a fan either.
there's
Sorry,
no
Pepsi.
there's no Kryptonite, there's no Green Goblin, there's no
Yeah,
Lex
no,
Luthor,
Pepsi. The
there's no
Pepsi
Venom.
sign was
It's the Pepsi sign is what killed
who
the
would have
bad guy.
known? Who would have ever known?
On top of and this guy has superhuman strength too, so he could probably lift the Pepsi sign like
Yeah.
this. No
Oh, I
problem.
also want to point out for anyone that wanted to know, if you shoot a bottle rocket at a concrete wall, apparently it'll knock out a perfectly proportioned hole that four women can walk through. Like, just so you know, concrete ain't got shit on these fireworks. I don't know what kind of fireworks these are. These are some C4 level fireworks,
Yeah, because
or whatever.
because
The same fire. I would point out the same fireworks that knock out this concrete wall. She's blasting away with her Captain America shield that she made out of random shrapnel. That was in the wall. Like, she's blocking that, and not even flinching. Yeah, not even flinching.
The
But
Pepsi sign, because what was it? Because she's walking with the Pepsi sign right there, and she looks over, and like as she starts walking, her bad web powers kick in, and she sees like the ground explodes. Hey, don't go that way. And like you said, next you know she turns around, and as a rocket's about to hit one of the girls, she takes a fucking a random like piece of debris and goes and blocks it, and like and one girl's like, and one girl she says yet again, you know, you're just showing off.
You're
like,
just showing off now.
But
Maybe
like you
a
said,
little.
Wes, but apparently this woman, Dakota Johnson, with no, we've established she has no powers, right? No abilities.
Nothing.
Just takes a fucking random shield and just blocks a rocket like this, and like,
yeah, she becomes Captain America, but better because she's got Madam Web powers.
Yeah. Now,
Hell
so
yeah.
after Ezekiel dies, what happens? Cassie, she falls into the water.
Falls into the river again. So now at this point, I just want to establish that spider venom must be giving her special healing abilities, because she's now been in the fucking Hudson twice. So she's got to have some high levels of toxins in her fucking body. Like, Jesus, the toxic shock she must be. And of course, another thing fireworks could do that I didn't know, you can apparently fire fireworks into the water, and they will not only keep going, but keep all of their power, but not enough. Even though they knock down a concrete wall, she takes one to the fucking face, and all it does is blind her.
Yeah, so basically Cassie, she she gets shot in the face, you know. Oh Christ! So
no problem though.
Yeah, definitely. No, trust me, it's not Dakota Johnson's first time taking a shot to the face. Like,
oh yeah, whoa. 50 Shades of, oh my God, he put it in my eye.
Yep.
So she wakes up in the hospital. Oh, of course, we utilize the obligatory training scene of the CPR, because of course she was in the water. Yeah. So they have to save her, and save her they do, with the power of the three women's vaginas.
She's drowning. She's drowning, coughing up, and like if only the three of them knew CPR.
If only they had a quick 10-minute lesson earlier in the film of CPR and CPR they do.
Right now, that scene, that's not the real superheroes. That the CPR is the real power that they have.
That's the real superheroes is pumping someone's chest. Yep. You know what I mean?
I mean, Sydney Sweeney, we can all pump her chest, but
yeah, I mean, listen, if somebody's chest were supposed to get pumped. Oh, by the way, Sydney Sweeney's boobs only make a brief glimpse appearance in the dream sequence, which I don't know what that tells you about the creeper guy. Discount Venom. He's having dreams about teenage girls having big tits. So I don't know what to say about that.
So so Cassie does survive, and obviously now, so she's blind. She's blind, and basically the ending shot is just her. Yeah, she's in a wheelchair.
Yep. She's in a wheelchair,
and she's blind.
The three girls are coming in to live with her and living off of her disability check, apparently. And they have Chinese food, and of course, boy, she does the whole. One girl goes to sneeze, and she says, "God bless you," before
ahead of time
sneezes. The other girl says, "Hey, we got Kung Pao chicken." Oh yeah, I knew you were gonna get Kung Pao chicken. Boy, that would get old really fast.
Yeah.
Like how long before that would be so irritating you would push her ass out the window?
And
Like
I
seriously.
remember the fucking line, and it actually wasn't Maddie asked her. Maddie does ask her like, "Hey, can you see?" And she pulls the whole Neo. She's like, "I can see, but now I can actually see better than ever before." As I'm
I
blindfolded. Swear to God, it's like now she can see with enhanced vision. So yeah,
Can you?
and
So, do you want to show? Are you able to show the thing that I got from the ending?
um,
So, I will remind everyone on Stupenzo's channel on Mondays. We do our weekly roundup
oh, shit.
called "Tales from the Dork Side." There was a conversation that went something to the effect of movies that had songs that were used multiple times, and I pointed out that every girl power movie from the mid '90s all the way into the 2000s used the Cranberries' "Dreams" song. And
Yeah,
sure fucking enough, at the end of this movie, what starts playing?
the
The
cranberry.
Cranberries' "Dreams." Oh boy. Oh
Yeah,
boy.
because we have to get the speech now. It's a montage and the superhero buildup where she's like, yes, and because she's like, Cassie, can you see into the future? Yes, I can see into the future, and we get like a quick like 2 minute montage of each girl in their costumes, like whatever 10 years in the future, and she's like, yes, the three of you are like, or was it like you are determined, and you're facing your dreams and
Yeah.
hopes and stuff, and you are like the
Yeah,
epitome of goodness, and
a very
it,
obvious uh,
yeah,
scene that was done in post
yes,
and added on later. And she obviously did it from her iPhone on the flight to Epstein Island or something like that because it's so dry and so bored. Oh,
yeah,
and if you're wondering if Peter ever gets name dropped, nope, he
yeah,
definitely doesn't. If you're wondering if Venom or Morbius or even Craven the Hunter get name dropped or anything like that, nope. But guess
no,
what they do bring in? They get to bring in the famous responsibility line from all
yes,
the Spider-Man movies, but with a twist. Instead of with great power comes great responsibility, showing that, hey, if you get superpowers, you need to use them wisely. Oh, no, no, no. If you have great responsibility in your life, you will be granted great powers. Dun, dun, dun! Subversion of expectations.
yeah.
Satisfied.
Yeah. So yeah, the very last scene is the three of them being Spider Women.
Spider women.
Yeah.
Taking down the patriarchy one vagina at a
Christ.
time.
Yeah. Oh boy, I'm trying to find. Did you notice too? It's like I couldn't help but laugh that boy. They won't show any pictures of her, but yeah, they try their best to like make her like so. For Sydney Sweetie in this film, they
Yeah.
they do everything they can to give her fucking very like over the top like
Oh
dressers and
God.
stuff. Like here she is. They just in like even her Spider Woman outfit. They really do their best to like hide these things. Like, look, and they try giving her the glasses and like they try to
Yeah.
tone her down to be like she's average, which
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
They took a Barbie doll and turned her almost into a Ken doll.
like, come on,
Like
guys. Like, yeah, you're not seeing any shots like this right here. That's Sydney Sweeney. Like, it's
that's Sydney Sweeney right there.
yeah,
But they didn't want that. They didn't want that. At least
yeah.
not for this piece of dog shit. So
I mean,
okay. So fresh out of the theater.
here's another one right there. So it's
Oh wow.
yeah, but it's funny how
Fi-
like it's funny how like you go from like that to like, and this is actually her in the film. I found a picture. Yeah, like look how they try so hard to cover up the girls. Like,
yeah.
so yeah, and I did stay. I was on my phone texting you and stuff, and there isn't any post credit scene. So
Yeah. I honestly could not. That song was playing and I had to get out of the theater. I mean,
no,
I was at first I was laughing so hard that they were playing that song. I took a quick video of it, cinema verte pirate style, and sent it to our group chat. But I don't know if it's something that you can show or want to show but I mean, take my word for it.
yeah,
If you've seen any female centric movie from the mid to late '90s to the early 2000s, the Cranberries' "Dream" song was on there for sure.
yeah. Let's go with that image
For
right
sure.
there. So, yeah,
There we go. All right,
uh,
so let's. You want to talk? We've shit on this movie for about an hour and 4 minutes now. You want to talk about anything that you thought they got right?
oh, Christ. Like you said, I think
That's
I would think that because it's a 2 hour film, the first 15 minutes could be. I mean, yeah, it's bullshit with the whole origin story, the bullshit spider powers. But like we said, as a premise, Madam Web is a character. When she's first like learning the different like I guess like flashbacks and deja vu's, that part was
uh-huh.
fun. And like we said, and the good part was like when Ezekiel for a few shots when they're turning him into fucking Terminator, and he just like
Uh-huh.
said, if this was rated R, you could have had
Uh-huh.
this guy like fucking impaling these girls, ripping their hearts out or some shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
For
Yeah.
for a PG-13 film, it's violent enough where it's like we said, Ezekiel, he's not holding backbone
Right.
punch. He's killing cops, he's killing fucking these women. He's just like, this
Yeah.
guy is fucking brutal. So
Yeah.
that's the good part about it. So I think that you may have a good 20-minute movie in here.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'll agree with you. Anything else?
I mean, sit. No,
Can't even say Sydney Sweeney because
yeah,
they nerfed
because
Sydney
yeah,
Sweeney.
this shot right here, guys. These two things, yeah, they're not. You're not going to see this in the film.
They
So
do not make an appearance. Yeah, they have been
yeah.
like CGI'd out, like
Oh
Henry
yeah,
Cavill's
right.
mustache. They're basically like CGI'd out.
Mhm.
I will say of the good, as I spoke on earlier, I did like the fact that this guy. So and I've thought this in lots of other movies. So yeah, this guy has superpowers, whatever you want to call it, and he uses his wealth, and he does what I would do as a villain. He hires a contractor
Mm.
to do the tech work because he doesn't know how to use computers, and instead of him just magically showing up, they have her hack into the NSA system and
Yeah,
look for that. I could see. Listen, that was a good idea. I like it. Is it realistic? Probably not, but it makes a lot more sense than Bond villains or Indiana Jones villains just popping up like fucking goon magic.
yeah,
So he's got that. I will say I will agree with you that some of the brutality that he does in it is pretty cool. I think that had they showed her powers being a little bit more like what they should have leaned into was her seeing something really brutal happen and then her stopping it. You know what I mean? A
yeah,
little bit more Groundhog Day type stuff. Like the
yes,
thing where there's no logic to it though. I can't even give it a full
yeah,
compliment because there's no logic to it. Like it's not consistent. Like on the one hand, she sees stuff a few seconds, and then another thing she sees it a good hour before it happens. There's no rhyme or reason to it. So how would you be able to use it? Certainly not from a week-long training session in the Peruvian jungle. So like I don't get that. One other thing I will say, there's a couple halfway decent, and I'm willing to bet the good lines that actually had me chuckle a little bit. I'm willing to bet that those were probably ad libs because I don't think the script writers in here knew what the fuck they were doing. So the couple
oh
times when
definitely,
there was
yeah,
like halfway decent, like script stuff, I think like where she gets uh, uh the Chinese, they're eating the Chinese food, and
yeah,
it's like, oh, you have a lovely, oh, they must have mixed up our fortune cookies. You know
hmm,
what I mean? Like that was funny.
yeah,
So, but everybody in here who I've seen in other stuff, which except for the Hispanic girl and the Hispanic bad guy, I've seen almost all these actors and other things. They
mm,
are so much better. They are wasted here. I
mm,
don't know what Sony had going on. I don't know if they're money laundering, and they were like, hey, we need to hide $80 million. So they were like, here, let's just do this. Had they made this like a sexy type movie, they got these three
mm,
hot chicks that weren't teenagers, they were like 20 somethings, and they were like, going through that, and they had some sexy shit going on.
mm,
I could have bought that, and that might have been something sort of interesting, but
yeah,
there's not. It's just a nerfed version. Is it as bad as Morbius? No, it's not as bad as Morbius, but it's really close.
yeah,
Like it's a close, like it's down there. And Sony, I don't know what you're doing, man. I don't know how you come up with Venom and then you do stuff like Morbius and
mm,
this. I don't know what that Craven the Hunter thing is going to be.
oh, God,
But I mean, No Way Home was great. I don't know what you're trying to do here. Your math doesn't math with the timeline shit.
yeah,
It makes no sense. None of that matches with any of the Spider Men in any of the verses. So I don't know if they're like trying
yeah.
to Miles Morales it, or like I don't know what's going on here.
Now, one thing we'll say, because like you said, the funny part is like, was it Morbius was a 15%? This is a 16%. If I had to choose between this and Morbius, I will say though, we talked about this offline, that right here, at least Matt Smith, when he first gets his vampire powers, he's dancing, he's having a good fucking time.
Sure,
Matt
sure,
Smith was at least having a good time. Like I could watch that. And I said Morbius, like as a character, he's a broken doctor, a broken man. When he first gets like the abs and stuff, and he becomes Morbius, when he first introduces his powers, that's at least to me watchable. Like Morbius is one of the films where if you mean Enzo got drunk as fuck, we could still, I think, have a good time with Morbius. I
Agreed.
think,
Agreed.
so it's like I would actually rate Morbius better than this. I'm not saying it's a great film, but like, I mean, if I had to choose out two of them, because besides like maybe a couple of good scenes where Ezekiel is killing these women, it's like what is the overall fucking plot of the film? At least in
Right.
Morbius, it's like it's Matt Smith versus friggin' Jared
Right.
Leto. This film is okay. She gets her powers 20 minutes into the film. It's an hour and a half of them running from the bad guy. At least in the
Yeah.
Terminator, yeah, yes, it's Terminator. But at least in Terminator, you had backstory, you had build up, you had
Sure.
explanation of like, the future, what the Terminators are. The entire fucking time, there's no explanation versus okay, it's Ezekiel got spider powers, she got spider powers, but we're just running from him, running from him, running from him. The whole fucking film is just a big, shitty, slow Jason Voorhees Terminator fucking
Yeah.
film.
Yeah.
It's
With a horrible, horrible actor. You
oh
could have
yeah,
picked somebody up off the street that could have acted better than this
yes,
guy.
yeah.
Jesus, he was terrible.
Yeah, but
Man,
like
oh
you're
my
saying, I mean,
God.
there's gonna be something like, yeah, like 100%, like you said, whenever the fucking Razzies come out for like worst, like this guy is like fucking what's his name? Chat, Tommy Wiseau. This guy is
Yes,
Tommy
yes.
Wiseau.
No, this guy makes Tommy Wiseau look like Robert De Niro.
Yeah,
Like he's bad, bad.
yes, he
So
is.
yeah, so I guess now all that's left is your three questions and
Uh,
where we rate the movie.
well, I mean, and like people would say out Cinemac anybody, the biggest problem with Sony is like, okay, Venom for what it is, it's stupid popcorn fun, it's inoffensive. We like the critical drinker would say it's pretty forgettable. But like in Venom 2, I did, Carnage, I was so let down by that fucking film because Jesus Christ, guys, like you have not too long ago, we just watched Natural Born Killers. You
Yeah,
had Woody Harrelson to play Carnage. Okay, Carnage,
yeah,
who's a fucking serial killer. Who Carnage in the comics? Do people understand how fucking brutal Carnage is? And you make Carnage a PG-13 film. Like,
yeah,
okay,
yeah,
yes, okay, Venom 2 was inoffensive. It wasn't woke bullshit. It's a stupid popcorn film, but like at least with Craven the Hunter, they are going with the hard R, so that may make it interesting. But the problem with Sony, they're going through is like Venom is cinematic would say or anybody, Venom should be a fucking horror film, especially Carnage. Carnage, if you had a hard R rating with Carnage, that would have been a good goddamn movie. But like, yeah, so we have Morbius. Morbius could have been a fucking great hard R vampire film. It isn't. So
yeah,
I'm just like, it feels like this whole Sony cinematic universe, like, guys, what are you doing? It's like you're not woke, but you're not good neither. But so it's
yeah,
like, yes, is this as bad as the Marvels? Fuck, dude. It's like this.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
This is as bad as the Marvels.
yeah.
This is as bad as the Marvels, easily. This is basically the Marvels in Sony. This is as
Oh,
bad.
Christ.
This is just woman power, rah bullshit. I guess it might edge the Marvels slightly
Mm,
with the fact that it's not completely fluff because they do have the psychic scenes where the people get killed and stuff like that. So it
mm,
it does have a little bit more teeth than the Marvels does
yeah.
figuratively. But not much, bro.
That's the thing.
Not
It's
much.
like, and you could like said with Ezekiel, if this was a hard R fucking film with Ezekiel flat out fucking murdering people, that would have been a good, interesting film.
Yeah,
Because Ezekiel should have been, he should have been at the level of the Terminator, and it could have
yeah,
been because they
yeah.
showcasing how fucking powerful a person with spider powers, how powerful
Right.
he really fucking is.
Right,
Like,
unhinged, yes, exactly, like,
yeah.
yeah, that would be,
So
like, no joke, yeah,
no, no. So far out of the Sparta films, this to me, it's definitely the worst one. I mean, it's not.
yes,
I give Morbius a little bit more credit. Venom is stupid. We'll see what happens with Craven, but like, yeah, Sony. This is gonna bomb at the box office, and like,
yeah,
yeah, it's not
yeah,
woke,
there
but
was literally 2 people in the theater besides me and my friend,
uh,
and, we were only there hate watching it anyway.
yeah. So same thing, guys. I mean, in terms of like how we rate stuff, like remember the bar. So it was like, is it above the
Yes,
bar, at the bar, or lower the bar?
yeah,
Everybody can imagine what
yeah,
what it is.
this is the bar as low as we can get it. This is the lowest imagine the bar on a rung, right? And the bar has gotten rust on it and it's broken off a little bit and it's just
Oh,
kind of dangling but hasn't quite fallen off yet. That's
oh,
how low the bar is on
Christ.
this movie.
Yeah, I couldn't even fucking hate watch this again. It's one of the films where it's like I couldn't even
No,
watch it. It's
yeah.
just like I said, I could
Never. I will never watch this again. Oh
no.
God.
And it's a massive fucking waste of fucking potential. You could
A
because like I
waste
said,
of two
it's
potentials. Yeah,
because
definitely a waste.
Dakota and Sydney are actually like they're legit good actresses.
Yeah.
And
the girl that plays Maddie, I just saw her in just the other day. I saw her in a Morgan Freeman movie with Florence Pugh called Good Person, and she was really good in that. So
yeah, no, this is way fuck lower bar. So all right, guys. Yeah, I mean, we tried to get out more than it deserved, but like we try making it funny, but god damn, it's like yes, we expect it to be shitty, but like hey, we said I can't give a film analogy without watching it. At least we told you guys what it's about, and
yeah.
definitely when it comes on fucking streaming services or video, don't even waste your fucking time.
No, don't.
Just
It's not even worth the time you would waste.
yeah.
Watch it for free.
Yeah, like I
Like,
told people, I didn't pay for it, but still, don't pay
right.
for this shit, man. Just
Yeah. Oh, is this? Oh, you want to do your obligatory Regal app? How did you watch this movie, Blue Collar? How did you go see it for free?
let's see. Well, I can't show the barcode, but yeah, guys, I use my beautiful Regal app, and just for $19.99 a month plus taxes that may apply, I didn't pay for this film. So when I go see Dune 2 this month, Dune 2 will pay for my Regal app.
Oh
And,
my God!
yeah.
Does that mean, Blue Collar, that you can watch as many Regal movies as you would like each month?
For only $5 a week, you can watch as many films as you want, even the bad films.
You can keep going back, and there's no other charges besides your monthly fee, Blue Collar?
I mean, New York State taxes, but yes.
That is amazing. What
Fuck
a
yeah.
great deal the Regal app must be. See, that was better than all of the acting in that movie, what we just did right there.
As I said, guys, I'm in New York State with a standard ticket price being $15. Why not pay $20 to get unlimited tickets?
Yeah, unfortunately, there's not unlimited amount of decent movies, but
yeah,
I don't know.
All right, guys. Yeah. So I hope you had fun. That's all we can say, right?
Yeah, I'm sorry that we have to shit on something, but this is the first time on our low bar review that we both are in 100% agreement that this is a complete piece of cinematic excrement that we were happy to flush down the toilet. We did it for you so that you don't have to watch it. And we're going to leave you with something much better than anything that was in this film or anything that we did in here. We're going to show you the two twins of Sydney Sweeney, and we're going to leave it at that.
Good. I mean, just one more time, look at hey, damn, she had not bad arms neither. Like goddamn Sydney.
Oh yeah, no, she's like a living Barbie doll.
Goddamn. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
All right, man. So stay toxic, and I'm gonna
stay toxic.
I have to go to work tonight. So